Project 929, one chapter of Tanakh a day. Today we begin with Genesis 1. Rabbi Ishmael says the Torah speaks in the language of man. This means that the Torah is a document that needs to be able to be read by humans. It needs to relate to what we know and what we experience. For the original readers of the Torah, this was a world full of Assyrian, Canaanite, Babylonian, Sumerian, Egyptian ideas. And the first chapter of Genesis speaks that language to that generation. But what happens when generations of Jews many centuries in the future find themselves speaking about the world and seeing a world that is radically different? The eternal Jewish answer has been reinterpretation, going back to the Torah and seeing how it speaks or how it aligns with the cosmology and the science of the day. Philo did it with Plato. He said, the Torah was really talking about what Plato was talking about. For the rabbis of the Talmud and for the medievals, it was Aristotelian Ptolemaic physics. They said, we see in the Torah the language, the echo of the science of the day. And although an exercise of seeing how the Torah matches up to our current science would be very interesting and something that I would like to do, I don't think I can do it in 3 minutes. Also, a lot of these arguments are sometimes using the science. You believe in science, therefore, if science is saying the same thing as the Torah, you should believe in the Torah. And that is apologetics and not good midrash. So what I want to do today is a reading of Genesis 1 in the spirit of the way it was written. That is, as a creation myth. Because despite what we've been taught, myths, creation myths, are not the ways in which the ancient thought that the world came to being. It was not the scientific processes that created the world, but rather, what is the moral order of the universe? What comes first? Who is in charge? What values are important to the people reading and believing these myths? And in our myth, God creates the universe through speech. That means that the world makes sense. Speech is the expression of reason, the sense of the universe, the names of the universe. God names certain beings in the universe should make sense. The Torah is inviting us to explore through our language and our reason, the reason and the language of God. Our myth also harkens to the fact that God sees that everything is good. God is surprised by what comes into being once God speaks. Vayar Elohim et ha'or ki tov, and God saw that the light and water and living animals were good. Because Judaism believes in the value of this world and in the value of the things of this world to connect us and to talk to the glory of God. And finally, when God sees human consciousness, behold, God saw that it was very good. To have a partner, another conscience looking for meaning, is very pleasing to God. That is, God loves humans.